Veterans, if you've seen people saying the Take Care of Veterans Act is about to take your VA check, stop for a second. No, you're not losing your check tomorrow. No, this bill is not law. And no, the panic videos are not giving you the full picture. Here's what actually happened. HR 9237, or the Take Care of Veterans Act, dropped June 10th, 2026. A House floor vote was reportedly planned, then canceled June 25th after opposition started building. That means this bill is stalled, not dead. It still has to pass the House, clear the Senate, and get signed before anything changes. But just because it isn't law yet doesn't mean there's nothing to worry about. This bill is a massive proposal of more than 60 bipartisan measures bundled together, including the Major Richard Starr Act, caregiver support, GI Bill fixes, survivor benefits, appeal changes, and major rating schedule changes tied to tinnitus and sleep apnea. So the truth is this: there is real good in this bill, and real risk. And there's a very small window where veteran pressure can still change what happens next. In this video, I'm going to break down 3 things: what this bill could actually win for veterans, what parts could hurt future claims, and exactly what you should do right now so you're not reacting to fear, rumors, or half-truths. Because the worst move right now is not to panic, but to freeze while Congress is still moving. The piece of this bill that deserves the most attention is the Major Richard Starr Act. Here's what it does. Right now, if you were medically retired before hitting 20 years of active duty, your military retirement pay gets cut dollar for dollar against your VA disability compensation. You earned both, you get docked for one just to collect the other. Veterans and advocates have been calling it the Wounded Warrior tax for years, and that name is accurate. The Major Richard Starr Act eliminates that offset. If this bill passes, approximately 54,000 combat wounded veterans could collect both their full retirement pay and their VA disability compensation at the same time, concurrently with no penalty, no forced choice. But I have to be straight with you because that's what we do here. The version bundled into the Take Care of Veterans Act is not the full act as it was originally written. Some Guard or Reserve veterans medically retired under Chapter 61 still get left out. They'd still have to wait until reaching standard reserve retirement age before seeing that retirement pay, even with this new law in place. That is a fixable problem, but only if veterans apply pressure right now to make it whole. Beyond the Richard Starr Act, there are other real wins inside this package that most of the fear-mongering content is not mentioning at all. The caregiver support expansion includes a 6-month buffer of medical coverage after a veteran passes away or leaves the caregiver program, giving families a runway during the hardest period they'll ever face. The Love Lives On Act ends the remarriage penalty that has been stripping surviving spouses of earned VA benefits just because they found a partner after losing their veteran. GI Bill housing allowance rates go up for veterans in apprenticeships and online programs. And there's an appeals modernization provision that explicitly prohibits the VA from denying a claim solely because a veteran missed a medical exam. These are not nothing, these are real changes that affect real people. When content tells you this entire bill is a loss, that framing costs you your ability to advocate for the parts that are actually working in your favor. Here's where it gets real, and I'm not going to soften this. 60 plus bills worth of new benefits cost money. That's the pay-go rule. New spending needs an offset. And the offset Congress landed on is the VA's rating schedule changes for tinnitus and sleep apnea. Under what this bill proposes, future claimants with tinnitus could be rated at 0% if the condition is considered adequately treated. The ringing doesn't stop, the neurological damage doesn't reverse, but the compensation disappears. Sleep apnea follows the same logic. If your CPAP is managing the symptoms, Congress's position is that you aren't disabled. That ignores the underlying damage to your respiratory system that puts you on that machine in the first place. This already played out with GERD. The digestive system rating schedule changed. Future claimants got hit with far stricter standards, and what did veterans get in return? Nothing. The savings evaporated into the general fund. That is the precedent here. And when someone tells you they're taking your check, that's not accurate. This targets future claimants and new claims. Your existing rating carries protection under current regulations. That's where the threat actually sits. And knowing that distinction matters for what you do next. So where does that leave you right now? The threat is real and the panic is overblown. Your job is to move with purpose inside that gap. If you've been sitting on a sleep apnea or tinnitus claim and you have real service-connected conditions, there's no reason to keep waiting. The current rating standards are still in place, and if your conditions are affecting your life, you deserve an accurate evaluation under those standards right now. Don't let uncertainty about what Congress might do next become the reason you never told your story to the VA. This bill still needs a floor vote, Senate negotiations, and a signature. That process takes time. But it takes time is not a reason to sit still. It's a reason to move with urgency instead of chaos. Now, here's what I really need you to hear. When the GERD changes went through, veterans who did nothing got nothing. The savings didn't flow back to veterans programs, it evaporated. If tinnitus and sleep apnea follow the same path with no legislative vehicle to redirect those savings, the exact same thing happens again. The money disappears and your community sees zero benefit from it. That is the real argument for pushing your representatives to make this bill better, not for burning it down completely. The Guard and Reserve exclusion inside the Richard Starr Act is a solvable problem if enough people apply pressure right now while the bill is still in motion and before the votes are locked. Call your representative, tell them to make the Major Richard Starr Act whole. The Guard and Reserve veterans left out of the current version deserve the same concurrent receipt access as everyone else. That is a specific, winnable ask, and it's the kind of pressure that actually moves a bill that's still in motion. Don't let the noise make you freeze. Freezing is how you lose the fight before the first shot is ever fired. The Rules Committee acted June 23rd. A House floor vote was scheduled, then canceled June 25th amid opposition. That means the bill is stalled, but not dead. Whether leadership brings it back, strips it down, or lets it die quietly is the next move to watch, and that decision could come very fast. When this bill moves again, you need to know immediately because the window to apply pressure closes the moment a vote is called. Drop your situation in the comments right now. What's your current rating and what claims have you been sitting on? Let's figure this out together and let us know what topic we should cover next. And make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video.